Hey guys, we are here today to go over the updates that recently came out for version 1.23 for Helm Connect. We try to do these updates as soon as they come out. This one is a little bit later, so I do apologize on that. But I do want to be able to go through all of the changes that have been made to the overall system, as well as maintenance and compliance, and anything that would affect you, your crews, and the system that they are using. These changes are relatively small, but still want to make sure that you are aware of them as you're going through things because things have changed. So we're going to start off with something that only the shoreside employees can see, which is underneath the management. I'm going to start in the assets section. Again, these are very small changes, but they are changes that you should be aware of. So this box right here where it says name, this used to say asset. So now instead of the assets drop down, you can go ahead and just type the vessel name. Nothing is going to happen though until you hit apply filters. So if I started typing the name of the Angus, it's not going to just filter it down to only that vessel until I hit apply filters. And if I want to go back to the full list, I won't be able to do that again until I hit apply filters. So you just have to make sure that if you're searching for something, a vessel or a person, that you make sure that you hit apply filters in order for that filter to go into place. Then underneath the people side, there are a few changes here. They did add a filter for an employee number. That's only if you're using the employee number section on the details page. So I'm going to scroll down to myself. In here, you can see that my employee number is right here, and I'm number 1. So when I go back to my tile, I'm going to filter by my name and hit apply filters. You can see that on here that my employee number is now listed on the actual tile. So if you have an employee number system that you want to implement into Helm, you can do that on their details page, and then that employee number will show up on the tile screen. You can also filter by employee number now just by typing in that number and hitting apply filters. So we have 2 employees with that employee number 1. Okay, so those are 2 small changes when it comes to the management searching, management asset and people searching filters. The next thing that we're going to look at is we're going to go into requisitions. So this has to deal with parts on this next new feature. If you don't use the requisition feature yet, please let us know if you are interested in starting to use the requisition feature. Again, it's more of like a second tier feature that we say get the basics down first with your crew and then move into requisitions. So I'm going to show you what this looks like whenever we are adding a new line item, and let's just say the crew is going through the list of parts that are already in the system, because we do have to build those out. But you now have the option to add in a new part. This can be completely permission based. So if you don't want your crews to have this permission, they don't need to. Or if you want this to be, certain people to approve it, etc. Everything is very permission based, so we can adjust it accordingly. So if we want to add in a new air filter that's not in the list, and we have the part number, and we have, the unit we don't have anything built in right now, so we'd have to have that built in, but we could say, okay, we have a unit of 12 at a time, and whatever category that it would be built in under, we could have that listed as well. And then we would have it either as active or critical spare. And then if we wanted to only list it as a tugboat asset, we could do that. Now, since I don't have any units built in, it's not going to let me save because it's going to jiggle a little bit. But once we do that, that part is going to pop up here. And then once we save this, it's not going to go through until it is approved by the person that has been in charge of requisitions. So it's basically an approvals manager, and they would have to go in and approve that part before it can go into any of the next steps, as in the confirmed, ordered, received on shore, etc. You can't do any of these until that part has been approved. Okay. So the last thing in here is that if you are filling out a form, in the past, if you've started filling out that form, you wanted to come back, this little arrow would have said finish later. It now says save changes to kind of just let your crew know that anything that they do fill out in the form section is going to be saved. So if they have to fill out half of it and come back later, that little save changes just kind of gives them that reassurance that their work that they're doing in there is going to be saved. Okay, so those are all of the newest features in 1.23 that would affect most of our companies. If you have inventory, there are a few small other updates with the adding a new part option in the requisitions. You'll also be able to do that in tasks. We just don't have a lot of companies that use inventory currently. So if you are an inventory company and you want more information about that adding a new part section, please feel free to reach out to us and we are more than happy to walk you through using that system. There were some other changes made to dashboards, but the pages that were added into dashboards directly came from the jobs module, and none of our customers use the jobs module, so it didn't really affect anybody that had dashboards. So that is the newest features wrapped up in a shiny bow, and if you have any questions on any of these new features, please feel free to reach out to the Helm support staff here at TBS. You can email us at support@tbssafety.com, or feel free to call us in the office at 251-459-9891. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.